Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for December 12th through the 19th. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for the Taurus collective. We are coming into a full moon on at the end of the week on the 19th, a full moon in Gemini. So we're going to connect here and see how those energies might be affecting the Taurus collective. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys might be hearing my dog in the background. I rescued a big old horse of a dog, so he will not leave my side. You guys will be hearing him probably in future videos. We're going to see what's coming up here. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. So, the first card we have coming up here, is the Six of Swords, right? Now, as we come into full moon energy, a lot of the time there's a lot of releasing, right? So this is a time when people might become very emotional. This is a time when people might be angry. They might be frustrated. There can be sometimes disagreements or arguments. But I feel like for a lot of you, Taurus, it's the Six of Swords coming up here as the first card. You're just in the mindset where you don't have any time or space or patience for any of that. Maybe some of you, especially those of you who are on more of a spiritual path, maybe some of you have really been in the energy of like trying to hold space for people. Like you've been sympathetic, you've been compassionate, you've been trying to be there for them, you've been trying to listen to their problems. But now that we're coming into this energy and this time of release, you're realizing how heavy that's been for you. And you're like, I can't hold this space, especially when it's turning into drama. It's the same thing again and again and again. And you're like, I can't keep repeating the cycle, and I can't keep holding space for someone who is not wanting to do the progress. They're just using the space to enable them to keep up the behaviors that are making them unhappy. And they just want to talk to me about it and feel better and then go do the same thing again and again. Six of Swords can also indicate that some of you may be planning some kind of a trip or a getaway. I know that depending on where you live in the world, for a lot of us, the end of the year is a holiday time or holiday season, and sometimes people will take time off, or they'll travel, they'll go see friends, they'll go see family. And so some of you may be making travel plans or deciding to take some time away. I do feel it feels very impromptu to me. It feels to me like it's kind of like spur of the moment or last minute. It doesn't feel like something you've been planning for months or for weeks. It's just kind of like a last minute kind of situation, a last minute kind of thing. And some of you have heard me say this in the past. A lot of the times I've seen Six of Swords come up because, yes, you're taking a trip, but sometimes it becomes a very surprise relocation. Like where you're taking a trip and you're deciding, I'm just going to stay here. Or you're taking a trip and you're like, oh, I'm going to start looking for apartments. I'm going to start looking at houses. And you start making plans to move there. Or you start applying for jobs there. So I have seen that happen a lot of the times as well, where something is like a little trip becomes like a surprise, unexpected relocation. And some of you might be thinking about relocating. Some of you maybe feel like you've been setting boundaries with people for a really long time, and now it's gotten to the point where you're like, I just need to move away. I just need to put some physical distance between myself and certain people. The next card that's coming up here, Taurus, is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands can indicate that we have to be cautious, that we have to be careful. There could be somebody who's being... Oh, so my doggy's knocking over the tripod here. There could be somebody who's being a bit of an opportunist and trying to take advantage of a situation. If you're doing something in terms of like work situations, Seven of Swords tells me watch your back. Be aware that there could be people that are trying to set you up and make you look bad because they feel threatened by you, they feel intimidated by you. So they might be coming in and they might just be like, telling you to do something, but on purpose giving you the wrong instructions, so that when it comes back wrong, they can say, oh, well, I don't know why Taurus did that, And so I've always give this example, like you can send a person an email and say, okay, thanks, for coming by my desk and for, giving me this assignment. So, per our conversation, per our discussion, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z with it, right? Like you lay out the conversation and the instructions in the email that this is what this person told you to do. They might not respond. They might not answer. And so then you do it the way they told you to do it. It comes back wrong, right? And that person tries to throw it on you. Well, I don't know why Taurus messed it up. I told Taurus what to do. And you might say, no, you told me to do X, Y, and Z. And no, you misunderstood me, Taurus. It's not my fault if you misunderstood me. Well, I sent you this email, right? I sent you this email and I said that you told me to do X, Y, and Z. You never wrote me back. How come you never wrote me back? How come you never corrected me? I told you that's what I heard. I told you that's what I understood. Right? And that way you can protect yourself. You can, have things in writing. Keep record of your work, because unfortunately you may have people that are trying to be, playing dirty here. If you're doing something in terms of collaborations with others, or if there's something that you're working on, a project or a business, maybe you feel like you want to run it by friends and family. You want to get their idea. If they like it, if they think it's good, don't. Because you might have somebody who's going to steal that idea. Or they might act like, well, I don't know, that seems kind of stupid. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And they talk you out of it, and then you go and you see that they did it, right? So just be careful what you're sharing with others. Those of you who are taking this trip, or who are about to relocate, or who do feel like you need to put physical distance between yourself and some other people, it feels to me like you're doing it very quietly. You might not even be telling many people where you're going, or you might not be telling anybody that you're thinking of moving or thinking of leaving. You might say, oh, I'm just going to go on a trip, and then you don't come back. I don't know which sign it was that this came up for, that I shared this example. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And maybe this is the reason why some of you are doing it. Many years ago when I was a lot younger, I was in a really abusive relationship, and I just said, oh, I have to go visit my aunt. My aunt's sick. And she was sick. I wasn't lying, right? I was in Florida. I went to California to visit my aunt, but the plan from the beginning was that when I got to California, I was staying in California. I was not going back. And so when I got there and I told him I'm not coming back, he's like, how come you didn't tell me? He starts yelling at me. And I was like, what would you have done if I had told you? What would you have done if I said, I'm going to California, I'm not coming back? He's like, your ass would not have made it halfway to the door. I would have laid you out flat on the floor. I would have knocked you out. I was like, well, then maybe that's why I didn't tell you. And so some of you might be in that kind of a situation where, you're having to kind of sneak away. Maybe the environment is very toxic. Maybe it's dangerous for some of you. And you're having to make these plans in a very kind of quiet way, where you're kind of tiptoeing away. You're not telling, nope. He's trying to get under the table. Hold on, guys. Okay, so he has decided he is not close enough to me. He needs to sleep under my little tiny table. Yikes. All right, guys, I'm sorry about the interruptions. So you might be in this energy where you're having to take these steps very quietly. You're not wanting anybody to know what you're doing or what you're planning, right? If your intuition is telling you this might not go over well, if I tell them, listen to that. Listen to that. I just gave you an example of my situation. At that point, my at the time husband had never come at me that aggressively or that severely. He had never knocked me out, right? But when he said that, I believe he meant it, right? So even though it hadn't happened at that time, something told me you can't tell him. He can't know right? Because then it could have been very explosive. Then it could have really been this massive tower moment, right? So some of you have to listen to your intuition if your intuition is telling you that this person, there's certain things that you have to do on the down low, that you have to do quietly, that you have to do cautiously. You may want to listen to that. Okay? Now, your next card here is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups comes in with the energy of celebration, good news, finding like-minded people, soul tribe, soul connection, finding your people, finding your group. And so this is a very happy time, a happy moment, a joyous time of coming together. So some of you may be making a move to a place where you feel like you have friends or family who are going to be supportive of you or who share your beliefs. Maybe the area where you're living, you're like, I don't know, I don't like the ideology of this territory and I want to go somewhere where people have my beliefs or my values. Some of you might be seeking out community, okay? This could also be healing the feminine wound, finding high vibrational feminine energy, feminine friends, feminine non-romantic connections of women who are very, supportive and uplifting and healing. The next card that's coming up here is the Hierophant. Some of you could be getting engaged, maybe on the down low here. There could be commitment. There could be, a little, holiday surprise or, talk of engagement or marriage. Some of you may be focusing on your beliefs and values, as I said, right? Like you're wanting to be somewhere where your beliefs, your ethics, your morals, I've said this in the past, Hierophant, to me, the Spirit is saying, as long as you're making your decisions based on your ethics, your beliefs, and your morals, you're going to align with the right people and you're going to make the right decisions and the doors are going to start opening. Hierophant is your card, Taurus. So this is you coming into your power, your true authenticity. Right? You're not hiding who you are. You're proud of who you are. You're accepting yourself. You're falling in love with yourself. You're living your life as your authentic self. You're not, trying to change who you are or shape who you are to make other people happy. You're confident and you're living your life unapologetically as the person you are, authentically. So you may want to check out your moon, sun, and rising sign videos. Some weeks are going to resonate more than your sun sign. 2022 forecasts are linked in the description. Love readings for December are linked in the description. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Private readings are available at calendly.com/amethystangelite. You can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my dears. Take care.